Have you ever felt alone in the midst of challenges, as if no one could truly understand the depth of your struggles? As if, no matter how hard you try, life keeps testing you without relief? If so, know that you are not here by chance. There is something you need to hear, something that could change the way you see suffering and help you find purpose, even in the hardest situations. What if I told you that in your darkest moments, there is a message waiting for you? It may seem contradictory, but often it is through pain and solitude that God's presence becomes most evident. Jesus Christ never promised a life without hardships, but he did promise that we would never be alone. Suffering is not the end. It is God's megaphone, calling us to deeper faith, shaping us and leading us to a greater level of trust in him. So, if you want to understand how God speaks to you in times of struggle, how faith can transform your life, and how to find hope where many see only despair, stay with me until the end. Like this video and subscribe to the channel to keep learning about biblical wisdom and God's presence in your daily life. And go ahead and comment below. God is always with me, because declaring your faith no matter what you're facing. Pain has a unique way of capturing our attention. When everything is going well, life moves on autopilot, and God may seem like a distant presence. But the moment suffering knocks on our door, our hearts cry out for answers. C.S. Lewis once said, "God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pain." And Jesus reminded us, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." Matthew 5, verse 4. This means that suffering, no matter how painful it seems, can be God's call for deep spiritual transformation. How many times has someone only sought God's presence after going through a moment of despair? As human beings, we often turn to faith when we feel there is no way out. It is in loss, frustration, and pain that prayer becomes genuine and the heart opens up to miracles. Imagine a mother who, after losing everything, kneels for the first time to sincerely talk to God. It is not about punishment. It is about realignment with his divine purpose. Suffering makes us more receptive to hearing the Father's voice and truly trusting in him. So what should we do in these moments of tribulation? Complain and resist, or see it as an invitation to draw closer to God? The choice makes all the difference. Those who understand that suffering can be a tool for growth find hope even in pain. And it is precisely in these moments that God's love manifests most powerfully, bringing a strength that does not come from the world, but from unshakable faith. And when we experience that kind of trust, something extraordinary happens. On the darkest days, when everything seems lost, God's presence becomes a refuge that no suffering can shake. It is easy to have faith when life is going well, but the real test comes in moments of pain. How many times, in the middle of despair, has someone felt an unexplainable peace after a sincere prayer? It is not about empty words, it is about the certainty that God never abandons those who trust in him. When human strength fails, divine love is revealed in the most incredible ways. Think of a castaway lost in the ocean. He can struggle against the waves with his own strength, or he can trust that rescue is on the way. That is how we are in the face of difficulties. We can either fight against fear and anxiety, or surrender to the peace that comes from God. Jesus Christ never promised a life without challenges, but he did promise to be with us through every battle. When everything falls apart, he is there, holding every step, guiding us toward a greater purpose, even when we cannot yet see it. But how can we feel his presence when everything seems silent? The answer lies in constant prayer, in sincerely seeking his voice, and in trusting that he is working even when we do not see it. Some find this peace by diving into his word, while others are reminded of past miracles in their lives. No matter how it happens, one thing is certain: those who trust in God are never alone, and that trust has the power to transform a life in unimaginable ways. Faith is not just positive thinking, it is a force that redefines how we see the world. Those who experience true faith in God not only find comfort, but also see their lives transformed from the inside out. Jesus Christ made it clear that prayer is not just a list of requests. It is a path to deep connection with the Father. It is not a one-time event, but a continuous pursuit of God's presence, which brings trust, hope, and a peace that surpasses all understanding. Have you ever seen someone go through unimaginable hardships and still remain strong and at peace? That does not happen by chance. People who cultivate unshakable faith see every situation from a new perspective. Losing a job is no longer a failure, it becomes an opportunity for a new purpose. Illness is not just about suffering, it is a time to draw closer to God. Faith changes the way we interpret challenges, replacing fear with the certainty that everything works together for the good of those who love God. But faith must be exercised. It is not enough to say you believe if, at the first sign of trouble, your heart fills with doubt. Strong faith is built through constant prayer, studying the Word, and complete surrender to God. Those who commit to this experience something extraordinary, a spiritual transformation that shines through every area of life. And when you live this transformation, a powerful feeling begins to grow in your heart. It is easy to be grateful when everything is going well. But what about when the storms come? True gratitude does not depend on circumstances. It comes from deep trust in God. Jesus Christ never promised a journey without challenges, but he taught that a grateful heart sees God's hand in every detail. Those who learn to give thanks, even on difficult days, begin to see that even moments of pain carry valuable lessons. Gratitude changes our perspective, shifting our focus from the problem to God's presence. Have you ever noticed how some people face great difficulties without losing their peace? That happens because gratitude changes the way we respond to life. Imagine someone who loses a job. They can fall into despair, or they can see it as a push toward a new purpose. It could be the chance to develop a skill, start a business, or simply strengthen their faith. When gratitude fills the heart, hope replaces fear, and trust in God grows stronger. But how can we cultivate daily gratitude? A great way to start is by keeping a blessing journal, writing down everything you are grateful for. Another powerful practice is expressing gratitude in prayer, recognizing both the small and big ways God's love is revealed. Even thanking Him for things that have not yet happened is an act of faith. And as this habit strengthens, something incredible begins to take place. Our pursuit of God becomes deeper, and miracles start to unfold. Seeking God is not just a religious act, it is a decision that completely transforms your life. The book of Jeremiah teaches us that when we seek Him sincerely, He reveals Himself to us. The problem is that many people want immediate answers without true dedication. God is not just an emergency button for difficult moments. He is a loving Father who desires a deep relationship with us. Those who draw near to Him with an open heart experience a change that goes beyond circumstances. Miracles do not always happen the way we expect. Sometimes they come through small changes that we hardly notice. A heart once filled with fear begins to feel peace. A broken relationship finds reconciliation. A closed door becomes a better opportunity in the future. Those who seek God with all their hearts learn to recognize these signs and trust in His timing. The key is not just to ask, but to develop a real intimacy with the Creator. But how can we truly seek God? First, we must dedicate time to Him. That means praying, meditating on His Word, and quieting our hearts to hear His voice. Reading inspiring books like Psalms and Proverbs strengthens our faith. Being part of a faith community provides encouragement. Small daily habits create an unbreakable connection with God. And as this pursuit deepens, something powerful happens. Our faith becomes so strong that it overflows into the lives of others. Faith was never meant to be kept to ourselves. Those who have experienced God's presence and seen their lives transformed have a mission to share that hope with the world. Jesus Christ taught us that light should not be hidden under a basket, but placed high to shine for everyone. Sometimes, a simple word of encouragement is all someone needs to keep going. Small gestures, like a heartfelt message or a prayer, can make a huge difference in the life of someone silently struggling. Think about how many times the right words have reached you at just the right moment. Maybe a friend opened up about a problem and found comfort in your response. Or perhaps someone crossed your path needing to hear exactly what God had placed in your heart. That is not a coincidence. God uses us to bring love, comfort, and transformation to those in need. What might seem like an ordinary conversation could actually be a miracle in action. Those who stand firm in their faith and share hope become instruments of God on earth. But how can we do this in our daily lives? It can be as simple as sending a message to someone going through a tough time, praying for someone facing challenges, and letting them know you are thinking of them. Sharing a personal story of overcoming struggles to strengthen someone's faith. God's love multiplies when it is spread, and the more we share our faith, the stronger it grows within us. Because, in the end, all of this leads to a deeper understanding of God and His purpose for our lives. Now that you understand how God uses even the hardest moments to strengthen your faith, the question is, how have you been responding to these challenges? Do you allow suffering to push you away from God, or do you use each obstacle as a step to draw closer to Him? The truth is, the way we face difficulties defines the depth of our spiritual journey. Those who trust in God do not just survive the storms, they learn to see a greater purpose in them. Maybe today you are going through something that feels unbearable. But have you ever stopped to think that, at this very moment, God may be shaping something extraordinary in your life? He never wastes a single tear. Every prayer you say, every step of faith you take, He sees and honors. What can you do right now to strengthen your faith? Maybe start a gratitude journal, set aside time for daily prayer, or even share this message with someone who needs to hear it. If this message resonated with you, do not keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs encouragement and keep growing in your spiritual journey. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay connected for more reflections that will strengthen your faith. And let me know in the comments which part of this message touched your heart the most. I would love to hear how God is speaking to you.